Hello, hello, hello. It's the Fat Boy here, back with round 7 of my team career mode here in Silverstone in the UK. And now we are going to be qualifying in the full wet weather. So this is going to be our first wet qualifying, if I'm not wrong. As now we're heading down the Hanger Straight. I am very weak in the wet weather as we're 1.7 seconds off the pace compared to George Russell lap time in sector 2 as we head down the final left right chicane. And I'm quite horrible in the wet weather, but I am not going to change the AI difficulty because it's going to be a dry race after qualifying. And heading down the second lap, we are now half a tenth up on our previous lap time, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get to P21 to get ahead of Nicholas Latifi. As we head down Chapel into the hangar straight, no DRS this time because it's completely wet, and our exit is fairly good, and we are 1.1 seconds slower than Russell, so pretty much I think we're just gonna stay in P22 by the time we end our lap. And now we're heading down the final left-right chicane once again. We lost 2 tenths on the way to that corner. Heading down the final right-hander, we managed to find 3 tenths of a second as we get quite a bit of wheel spin, and that is gonna put us in last place. So there's no choice. There's no choice but to just do a last to wherever I finish challenge. And Lewis Hamilton takes pole position in Q1. Ticktum obviously better than me in the wet weather. But obviously no points on Saturday, and let's hope for a better race in the dry for race day.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula One faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Daniel Ticktum, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, the Black Mamba and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
And now I am back again. As I told you, it's gonna be completely dry weather. It's going to be bone dry on the track. So no, don't need to worry about the wet weather stuff. We're just gonna underfuel the car by a little bit, by 0.1 laps of underfueling, and we are going to start the race right about now. As now everyone rev up their engines, and here come the 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. We are underway for season 1 of the British Grand Prix here in Silverstone. We go around the outside of everyone in Abbey. Verstappen is leading the race, heading down turn 2 as we go for a big dive bomb on everyone. And we are 3 wide with the Alfa Romeo, so I have to stay on the outside line in order not to give Kimi Raikkonen a huge squeeze on the inside line at the apex. And at the moment, the two Alfa Romeos are still ahead of me as George Russell is battling our teammate Daniel Ticktum. As we head down Brooklands into Luffield, we are still in 17th place, so we have already made 5 places over the course of the first 3 turns already. As Ticktum is all over my mirrors as he tried to go for a move around the outside of Cops Corner as we go wide at the exit, but we still manage to stay ahead of our teammate. And since the AI difficulty is increased by about 4, I think we increased it by 4, we are gonna have much more battles with our teammate than before. As the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi is starting to pull away as Ticktum tries to go for a move around the outside of my car in Stowe, which is that previous right-hander there. As we head down the final left-right chicane, Verstappen sets the fastest lap, but that is obviously not going to be the fastest lap of the race. As we head down the final corner, and we are now into lap 2. Ticktum is going for a move down the inside of me and Abby as we try to stay within the track limits. We just about managed to keep our right front tire in front of the white line, which it's the track limit. As we head down past the loop into Wellington Straight, and no progress has been made until lap 3. Ticktum is 4 tenths away from us and is going to get DRS on me on the Wellington Straight. So I decided to use a bit of my overtake mode just to try to stay ahead of him going into Brooklands, as he is still ahead of me, but I think we should have the track position in Luffield as we get a green sector 1. And now heading down the old pit straight, Ticktum goes for some sort of a switchback move as he now owns the inside line. Mick Schumacher is going down the inside of Ticktum. Is going to be 3 wide in Cops Corner, and Schumacher is going to be the first one to bail out of the battle. And I'm still side by side with my teammate throughout Maggots and Beckett's, which is these few right left corners. As now we go down the hanger straight, Ticktum again is going to get DRS on me. We are 1.1 seconds slower in the second sector. And Ticktum is going for a move around the outside, but I hold the inside line here in Stowe. As Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of 1 minute 27.4 as I go for a dive bomb down the inside of my teammate. And he still manages to hold position heading down the final corner. And we are going to progress through the 4th lap. And now at the end of lap 4, we are down the hanger straight. We have DRS on Ticktum, and again, like I said, we're gonna have more battles with our teammate than before. We go down the inside. That was a very beautiful move. We kept our car and his car within track limits, and he goes for a move down the inside, but I managed to hold position because I was just a bit too far ahead of him. And we're now into the 5th lap. Ticktum is going down the inside of me and Abby once again, and Schumacher is not that far away. He's 3 tenths away as I manage to control the car heading down the loop. We go wide a little bit, but we manage to take the apexes beautifully. And heading down the Wellington Straight, Ticktum is gonna have DRS on me, but I think he's too far away from me to make a move down the inside. So we own the left-hander of Brooklands as we get quite a lot of wheel spin, and that offsets the car, it unbalances the car, and Ticktum manages to break through our defense, and we are now side by side with Mick Schumacher. To be honest, Haas is quite good compared to us, but our car is a bit better now. So now we are in lap 6 heading down Maggots and Beckett's. We get a green sector 1 at the previous sector. Now in sector 2 we are 1/10 faster than our previous personal best as we go down the inside of Ticktum once again, and this teammate battle cannot end. And now our rivalry with Ocon is going to be much more difficult than usual because Alpine are way better car than us. As now we are gonna have our in lap to go into the pit lane. As now we are here in Cops Corner on the same lap. Ticktum managed to overtake us at the Wellington Straight with DRS, heading down Maggots and Beckets. We get quite a lot of dirty air from our teammate, but we managed to keep the car within track limits as we get DRS. Schumacher is DRS, Russell also has DRS. We have a DRS train and we managed to go past Daniel Ticktum because when you have DRS it gives you an extra 10 horse, 10 kph in terms of top speed. As now we head into the pit lane, we did lock up our front left tire a little bit. And the pit entry is quite slow. We are moving like snails right now. Uh, and there's Ocon right in front of that. Raikkonen is going onto the medium compound tire if I'm not wrong, because I think he started on the soft tire. As there is the Haas pit crew and my pit crew. And we're now getting quicker with the pit stops, and because of that, our gap between myself and Schumacher is bigger than before. Like before we went into our pit box. As now we head down the exit. I get quite a bit of wheel spin, and Schumacher is gonna be lagging behind a little bit. As I think we are dead last. No, we're not dead last. Schumacher is dead last. As now we take quite as we went over the sausage curb at the loop, we got quite a lot of oversteer, and Schumacher should have DRS on me, but I don't think he did because at the detection zone I think he was still behind me by 1 second, but he does get a greater exit speed than mine. But again, we go around the outside at left field, and we are still side by side with Schumacher, but I managed to hold position at Luffield. Sorry, I think the left-hander before Luffield was Brooklands. Yeah, it was Brooklands. So anyway, heading down Cops Corner, we Schumacher gets to go around the outside, and that's one of the most beautiful moves I've ever seen in my entire life here in Silverstone. As again, we get quite a lot of dirty air, but directly behind the Haas, but we should be able to clear him by the time we get to the end of the hangar straight. And again, we get an extra 10 kph for our top speed as we head down Stowe. Ticktum is going into the pits. Ocon is in P15, I think, and Giovinazzi and Raikkonen. I think they got ahead of him if I'm not wrong. Oh no, Ocon is ahead of Giovinazzi and Raikkonen. And I should be able to make the undercut on Ticktum, but because of a mistake at turn 3, it costed us like 2 seconds. So Ticktum should be ahead of us for the time being. Yes, there he is. Heading down towards the end of the loop, and we are heading down the Wellington Straight. Schumacher should have DRS on me as the Alfa Romeos in front of us fighting each other for P18. As now we head down towards the end of lap 9 going into lap 10. Russell and Mazepin are going into the pits, and Mazepin is going to the hard tires, and Russell is going to the hard tires as well. With only 3 laps to go, they are going to the hard compound tires, which is a bit unnecessary. I guess it's a bit dumb for the pit crew. They should have gone to the mediums unless they run out of medium compound tires. So they are going to be lacking the pace at the end of the race. And Mazepin is going to be dead last. And we should be able to get past Russell quite easily as there's a DRS train. Russell having DRS on our teammate. I have DRS on Russell. Schumacher has DRS on me. Mazepin has DRS on his teammate. Pretty much no overtakes, but Ticktum is going to be under pressure from the Williams, who is going to Mercedes at the end of this season in real life. As now we head down the old pit straight into Cops Corner now, and we managed to keep our car almost. We almost managed to keep the car within track limits, but it's completely fine. As now we head down towards the end of lap 11, Heading down Cobb's Corner now, in halfway through Sector 2 of lap 11. We're gonna get quite a lot of dirty air from Russell heading to Maggots and Beckett's as Sergio Perez sets the fastest lap of the race. And now I should be comfortably ahead of Russell, given the gap in front of me. And Ticktum is still managing to hold position, and I still can't overtake Russell as we get quite a bit of oversteer. As now we go for a move down the inside of the Williams at the left-right chicane. And now heading down the final corner, we're still side by side, heading down the start finish line. We go off the track, but we manage to stay ahead of him as Schumacher is getting into the fight as well. But now they can start fighting each other for position. So anyway, now heading in down into the final lap. Ticktum is still ahead of us. Schumacher is still behind us as we go wide. We miss the apex of turn 2 and Schumacher now has the outside line. We did hit the sausage curb a little bit now heading down the Wellington Straight. Schumacher has DRS on me. We are side by side. Now I'm gonna head into Brooklands. I decide to let Schumacher through and now Russell is now trying to get past me, but I still managed to hold position. Um, just cause I think our car should be better in traction, and Russell's also on hard tires, so he should have less grip than me. As Max Verstappen takes the fastest lap, Valtteri Bottas manages to snatch the fastest lap in the last second, but Max Verstappen still takes first place for Red Bull here in Silverstone. Bottas is in second, and I think Hamilton's in third. I think Hamilton might be in third, or maybe Bottas was not in the podium because he may have set the fastest lap. He might not be in the podium positions, but we managed to make a last-minute dive bomb down the inside of the house of Mick Schumacher, and Ticktum is gonna finally stay ahead of me and finish ahead of me in P17 as we take P18.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
And Verstappen takes P1, but I don't think he's ahead of Lewis in the championship. As Lewis, yeah, I was right. He is in P2, and Bottas was not even in the podium position. He just misses out to Sergio Perez. And at least me and Ticktum managed to put ourselves in the midfield pack, and we are still in the same positions in the constructors championship. And Ocon is in P14, so the rivalry should be going towards his favor, as now he increases the gap by 4 points. Still, I can't lose 1700 acclaim, but the next track is in Spa-Francorchamps, so and Spa is one of my strengths, as we almost get $1 million alone. Okay, back to what I was saying. Spa is one of my strengths. So maybe we can bring the fight to the Alpines, maybe after the mid-season break.
Head to the activity screen to see what we have available.
And now I think we got all the upgrades done. We didn't do any upgrades for aero, but at least we get one chassis upgrade. And if you made it to the end of this video, if you liked it, make sure you drop a like, maybe drop a sub, turn on notifications in order not to miss future uploads. And once again, I'm the Fat Boy, and thank you for watching till the end of this video. There's just so much drama, and there will be more drama after the mid-season break. I have to get going. I see you next time. Goodbye and have fun.